Let me welcome you to the second annual College of Osteopathic Medicine, Michigan State Visiting Minority Faculty series. This is the second year we've done this, and we are heartened by the response, and we learn something from this series every year. Now I'm going to introduce the gentleman that really has been instrumental in helping us get off the ground, and he'll make some introductions, and he will introduce our guest speaker. And the gentleman I'm talking about, for a lot of us in the room we know personally, is Dr. William Anderson, D.O., Fellow of the American College of Osteopathic Surgeons. Bill is a clinical professor here at the Osteopathic Medical School and in the Department of Osteopathic Surgical Specialties. He is also the Associate Dean of the Kirksville College of Osteopathic Medicine, where he's responsible for the development of medical education programs within the St. John's Health System in Michigan. Bill has the distinction of being an important figure in this nation's civil rights movement. He was a friend and a colleague of Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. Anderson himself was a founding member and the first president of the historic Albany Movement, a local civil rights organization that spearheaded the civil rights movement in Georgia during the 1960s. More recently, Bill has served as the first African-American president of the American Osteopathic Association from 1994 to 95, and that's where I first met him. And since that time, I claim him as a friend and a mentor within the profession and the organization. He is a life member of the NAACP and has been a member of the board of directors of the American Osteopathic Association for the past 18 years. Dr. Anderson is a graduate of the Des Moines University College of Osteopathic Medicine. He also holds honorary degrees from the Ohio University, the New England University College of Osteopathic Medicine, and from the Kirksville College of Osteopathic Medicine. And Dr. Anderson will receive an honorary doctorate degree from Michigan State University on May of this year. So. He counts among his awards the Distinguished Service Medal from the American Osteopathic Association, the Physician of the Year from the Michigan Osteopathic Society, and the Walter F. Patenji Medal for Public Service from Michigan State College of Osteopathic Medicine. I give you Dr. Bill Anderson.
Thank you very much, and thank you for coming. You really make this effort that really is a labor of love worthwhile, because for you to come and join with me in recognizing and sharing with this leader in the civil rights movement in America today, it warms my heart, and I'm just so happy to see all of you here. This series that is sponsored by the College of Osteopathic Medicine, along with others that you will see listed on your program, but this was the brainchild, if you would, of Dean Allen Jacobs, who unfortunately passed late last year. But we dedicate the series this year in his honor and in his memory, because he had the sensitivity, he had the foresight, the insight, the vision. And he felt as though this history, the history of blacks in America, from slavery, in that journey toward freedom, and I call it a journey rather than a destination, is one that he wanted to be remembered. Chris is here again today. Chris, thank you very much. This is the wife of Allen Jacobs, who is responsible for this series. Would you please stand, Chris? Thank you. Let me tell you a little bit about our guest for today. He has been called a lot of things, starting with nigger. Is that all right?
In answer to it.
In answer to it. He says, so long as you spell nigger with a capital N. He is also noted as a comedian, a writer, a lecturer. He also is almost a physician, because I think that he has probably done as much as any physician in terms of giving instruction and giving direction on how you can improve your health. He comes from St. Louis, Missouri, which says something about St. Louis. He didn't stay there. He received his college training at Southern Illinois University in Carbondale. I didn't even know that existed. But he went there when he was one of few of his hue at that university, and he described it as being one of the most racist institutions in America, but it taught him a lot, and he'll tell you more about that himself. But he also was given the opportunity to show what he could do when he became a comedian in the Playboy Club in Chicago. He lives by what he teaches and what he preaches. And when he tells you that there's power in prayer, there's power that is untapped in your faith. When he tells you that you can reinvigorate that power by fasting, he demonstrates it by doing it. He has fasted as long as 167 days. I asked a couple of people on the staff at the university today, how long could you fast? Some of us have a difficult time getting through, did I call it Fat Tuesday and some kind of Wednesday? Some of us can't hardly wait until sundown on Wednesday before we start eating again. But he has demonstrated that he can do that. And it has been demonstrated that he can survive 167 days, not on food, but on nutrition. And he demonstrated that with his 4X formula. I have come to admire and respect him for his commitment, for his dedication to civil rights, to women's rights, to Native Americans' rights. And he has pushed his body, not just his voice, he has put his body in the way of harm in order to make a change in this nation. You know, when black Americans were brought to this country, they had 3 imperatives. One was just to survive, and there were over 10 million of us did not even survive the mid-passage in the slave trade. So we just had to survive, and that was number 1. And he has taught us how to survive on little. The second imperative was to create an identity because, you know, we had no identity. We were like treated as cattle, as chattel, and we were traded and bartered like cattle. People with no identity. The third imperative was to change a racist society, one that was built on exploitation, into a free and open society. D.Gregory has been a significant part of that process. And I'm very honored and very pleased to introduce to you and to present to you a leader in the civil rights struggle in America, my friend D.Gregory.
We first said we thank and praise God. You all made it here safely today. I pray to God that your return and my return will be equally as safe. On the second day of my 40-day fast, I called my wife today and said, you know, I knew I had a lot of things to do, but I can't drink as much water as I need to drink because it just runs right through me. I almost beg people to drink more water. And it's nice when you're out here and you people who you know, your family members listen. I had my uncle that was like 87 years old. And he called me up one day and said, I've been hearing you talk about this water. And I jumped on a plane, flew into St. Louis and told him, you know, how much you drink and how you drink it. And so he started drinking it, he started walking, and a lot of coughing, and asthma decreased, his migraine headaches left, lower back pain left. And next thing I know, he was making big news. He was out trying to run a marathon at 92. Then he went off on the other end. He said he'd get up every morning, early in the morning, and go to the toilet and pee, and God turns the light on for him. And when you say that, there's a whole lot of folks that will just run to your house and just want to touch you. Maybe you can heal my arthritis. And so they were just lined up in front of his house. So I just said, let me go by and speak to his wife, because she told me she's drinking as much water as him. And so we got there, and I said, you know, I've been reading all this in the paper, and I saw all the TV cameras outside and lines of people that's come and want to just touch the house. Of course, God turns the light on. for Ed every night. I said, but don't that bother you? You drink as much water as him. You go pee in the middle of the night, and God don't turn the light on for you. He said, it don't bother me. And one day when he realized he peeing in the refrigerator, so I called my wife and I said, you know, I'm really running behind on my water. And so she said, well, you're second day to fast. The little ginseng. You ever seen a little ginseng cap? You just open it up and just drink the liquid. Y'all, you know what I'm talking about? And it gives you quick energy. So I popped 2 of them. I was on the way down the aisle just now, and they said, well, wait, we're trying to open up the door and put some more in there. I had this funny feeling come over me. And I don't like to throw stuff on the floor and stuff, you know, so I put the empty bottles in my pocket, and I just reached in there and checked it out. I took my Viagra by mistake. So y'all know I got to hurry up and talk quick. I mean, when it kick in, it have no mercy. And I'm one of the few black men that will admit I use it. Usually when you catch your brother buying it, he swear he buying it for a white boy. No, I use mine. One of my sons is a doctor, is a chiropractic doctor, so I can get the actual shot for $10, you know, going through the doctor with just no charge. And earlier last month, he was on his way to Australia to a meeting, and so he said, I got this doctor friend of mine, he'll give you the shot. And I walked off and left my wallet, so I called my wife and just told me he'd send the bill to the house. And so he sent the bill for $10, and my son called me a couple of days ago, said, Ma, all right? And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, my doctor friend gave you that Viagra shot. He called me and said he got a check. He sent a bill for $10. He sent him a check for $3,010. I said, well, I'm sure she's all right, but I can't imagine him making that kind of mistake. So I called and said, you know, I just finished talking to your son, Christian, and he said that you sent a check to the doctor for that Viagra shot I got. It wasn't but $10. And I said, you sent $3,000. And she said, I know it. I said, well, what's that about? I said, well, $10 is what he charged you. $3,000 was the tip. I found out a long time ago that fear and God do not occupy the same space. That was one of the biggest problems I had. I got married 43 years ago, and people say, love is wonderful, you entertainers don't make it that long. Well, I'm going to confess to you on this Valentine's Day, love ain't had nothing to do with it. She told me 2 days after we was married, nigga, you ever leave me, I will kill you. Kill will keep you home for a long time. And there's another word that Michael Jordan just found out about called half. When Lil and I first got married, she had a problem with debt. She couldn't handle debt. And you know, and a lot of black folks, you white folks don't know this, but black folks, I mean, they just go out their way to have, you know, good credit. I'm so sick and tired of you black folks with good credit, but you ain't got no cash. And to find me some black folks with some bad credit like me, but cash. I always want to be validated by an insane system. My wife was the same way. When we gonna pay Sears and Roebuck? You act like we got some money. We don't have no money. And when I get me some money, Sears and Roebuck is not my first priority. They knew I wasn't gonna pay for that stuff when I got it. In the back of the application, they said, "Who's gonna pay for this?" I said, "Your mama." I walked in the house one day, I thought my old lady was having a nervous breakdown. She hollering and screaming, they did it, they did it. I said, what's wrong? Sister Roebuck, here it is, final notice, final notice. I looked at it, final notice. Thank God we won't be hearing from them no more. Look, you students, y'all get through you with your 4 years, you got your student loan, and you all uptight, you know, I got to, no, you don't have to. It's a game they play. Corporate America don't pay. So don't play no games. You know damn good and well, if that would have been the worker that ripped off Enron the other day, it wouldn't be no hearings in Washington. They would be in jail. Huh? You don't need to clap. I mean, they do it because you let people get by with it. Whatever they do to workers, nobody cares. That's the same group that ripped off the savings and loan right out of Houston. And the interesting thing, all that money, they haven't spent it, and you haven't heard one person suggest, let's go get the money back. Huh? The money's there. $688 billion they ripped off on the savings and loan, and unbeknown to most of y'all, Congress slipped legislation through when you wasn't looking, that every month, every American is paying to the tune of $20 a month to the year 2030. But let some welfare mothers do that, and you'd be acting a fool, or some hillbilly white women. It's a game y'all play. You sit here and you debate capital punishment with your kind of sick, perverted religion self, and nobody in this room in sound mind would ever assume that a Rockefeller or a DuPont or a Mellon could murder somebody on this campus tonight and get the lecture chair. What kind of fool is you? You know rich folks ain't going to no lecture chair, but you walk around, and as long as poor folks is getting this, it's okay. You're going to pay for that one day. Because there is a God that says, something's wrong. Somewhere. Youngsters come to institutions like this and flunk out, and that don't bother you? Take my damn car and get it serviced. If y'all can't fix it, you ain't going to get the money. And I'm going to find somebody else. If I go to a school, you sit here, you the great institution, you supposed to be able to teach me. How you going to flunk me out? I come here to learn. I come here to be educated. Let Prince Charles come here and flunk him out and see how many buildings you would lose in 24 hours. It's a game we play. How long? And what in the hell is a good school and a bad school? Are you out your mind? Michigan State is a good school. Ole Miss is not that good. And you know damn good and well you better off going around the world with a degree from Michigan State than a degree from University of Alabama. You know that. And yet y'all tolerate. I can go to Harvard Medical School today and my degree is better than if I went to Ole Miss Medical School. But if I go to Ole Miss today and give them $1 and say I'd like change for this dollar in dimes, they would give me 10 dimes, and Harvard would give me 10 dimes. There's something wrong with a nation that think you so cute and powerful that have more unification in changing my dollar than messing with my mind. And then y'all end up paying for it. It wouldn't be bad if them doctors going to them bad schools would stay there. They'd be here. That's why I say y'all better stay healthy as you can. So he or she is a good surgeon, but they didn't start off good. How you get to be a good surgeon? Practice. Who do you practice on? Somebody asked me the other day, you've been fasting for about 30 years. What does your doctor think? My doctor been dead 27 years. When you fast, you pray, you do your physical fitness. And you're 70 years old, you don't look 70. How can you tell when you're getting old? You can tell when you're getting old when somebody compliment them beautiful alligator shoes you wearing and you barefooted. can tell you getting old when you go to the doctor and the doctor tell you need an x-ray and just hold you up to the light. You can tell you getting old when your lady or man yell downstairs, run upstairs and let's have sex, and you yell back, you know I can just do one or the other. Fear and God do not occupy the same space. When bill collectors call, we lie to them. I mean, you serious? My brother called me today. They about to repossess my car. What must I do? Don't park in front of the house. Car green, painted red. You know, repossessors are not the brightest people on the planet. And then you lie. Tell your children, tell them I'm not here. How are you going to tell a child to lie and tell a child they're not supposed to lie? They call me all the time. Yeah, this is Dick. They don't know, bill collectors don't know what to say when you say it's you. They've been trained, you're going to say you're not there. When you say it's you, they got to run to the manual. What do you say when they say they're there? He comes back, this ain't you. I said, boy, how old are you? 22 years old. Let me tell you something. I've been owing this company this money for 38 years. What makes you think you're going to collect it in your lifetime? And how many of y'all in this audience is aware of the fact that about 61% of them, about 60% of them bill collectors that call you are jail inmates making 31 cents an hour? Yeah. I had old triple serial killer call me a couple weeks ago, trying to embarrass me because I'm late paying Neiman Marcus. I said, punk, you come get the money. And then once they can't intimidate you, once they can't frighten you, once they can't scare you, they change. They move to another level. Those PhDs, those psychologists, psychiatrists, they call, hi there, guys. When can we expect the payment? Well, I'm not in control of your expectations. Matter of fact, you can expect the payment all the time. Matter of fact, my brother, you sound so positive. Have you checked the mail this morning? Fear and God do not occupy the same space. Money is not power, education is not power, information is power. If I give you bad information, you got bad power. Somewhere. This is Black History Month, and my brother, we were talking about the early days of the movement when he was down there in Albany, Georgia by himself, dealing with it. And for you youngsters, progress. Not too many years ago, it used to be called Negro History Week, Remember? Now it's called Black Month. Of course, when you know when they get ready to give us a month, be that month of February, all them days missing. I mean, I didn't expect no 31 day, you know what I mean? But I was stunned when they laid February on us. Most black folks I know, not only do we not like February, we don't even understand it. I mean, what's a groundhog? On February the 2nd, if the groundhog sees his shadow, 6 more weeks of winter. Tell that to somebody living in San Diego. And it's so crazy just now. I mean, the TV cameras come in from all over the world. They out there at that hole at 4 o'clock in the morning with them lights. The groundhog can't help but see his shadow. This last February the 2nd, I was in St. Louis and on this radio show, and the white dude said, Brother Greg, today's Groundhog Day. What do you think happens if the groundhog sees your shot? I said, back up, man. I don't play that groundhog, man. White boy got uptight. You anti-American, anti-social? What's this about? I said, hey, man, I know you want to take it this way. I mean, ask me again, I'll play it. Say, today's Groundhog Day. What do you think if the groundhog come out, see his shadow today, boy? I said, 6 more weeks of winter, sir. But since we're going to play it, let's keep on playing it. Suppose that groundhog come out today and don't see his shadow, but see 5 black dudes. Do you know what that means? Oh, white boy got nervous. No, sir, I don't know. What does it mean? 6 more weeks of basketball, chump. And then we move from February the 2nd to the day, February the 14th. Hey, not only Valentine's Day, but Saint Valentine's Day, huh? It's the only day of the year. It's called Saint. And you know how many people lie on the day? Or am I the only one to send more than one card to more than one person? And one thing African Americans are going to have to do, we're going to have to get into entrepreneurship, and I couldn't think of a better way, easy way, don't cost that much money, is to get into greeting cards. Now, I'm not about to sit here and act like Hallmark don't know how to make a good greeting card. Can't nobody make a greeting card like Hallmark. I mean, Hallmark can just, but what Hallmark's never been able to do if they make that greeting card is you open it up. They've never been able to capture that ghetto vibration. The crow dark sings as sweetly as the lark when neither are tended. Nigga, do you love me or not? We just need some simple cards with some simple vibrations like, I ain't gonna do it no more. Give me another chance, baby. I know what you're thinking, but she hit on me first. You know what? And then white folks, you got to learn how to listen to black folk, because sometimes they be talking about y'all. What they be saying sound nice. I was at a conference not too long ago and they talking about black on black crime. I walked off and what the hell is black on black crime? Black on black crime, we tired of black folk killing black folk. You white folk need to listen to that. They didn't say they're tired of black folk killing. They said they tired of them killing black folks. Then who be left? If we all go to China today, who you think killing Chinese in China? If we go to Italy tomorrow, who you think killing Italians in Italy? And if 98% of all white folks that was murdered in America last year was murdered by white folks, if they ain't talking about white on white crime, why are you talking about black on black crime? That's a game. You kill where you live. If you don't like black folk killing black folks, and join the NAACP, the Urban League push, and Al Sharpton, and get out here with us and work to integrate this country. And I guarantee you, if I'm living over there in that white suburban neighborhood, and my old lady make me mad enough to want to shoot somebody, I'm not going to jump in my car and drive all the way back to the ghetto. And you black folk got to stop looking at television, everything they want to scare you. They just put on TV. Crime. Please. I know black folks ain't got nothing, think somebody's gonna take something from them. I got a cousin in Kansas City, he got 27 locks on the door and ain't got nothing in the house. I said, boy, if somebody broke in here, they'd leave something. The house he lived in so small, he stuck a key in the door one day and stabbed 12 people. And they was in the backyard. 98% of all homicides in America is caused by friends or relatives. 96% of all homicides in America is caused over arguments, not breaking and entry. We don't need more locks on our door. We need locks on our attitude. We live in a country where a handful of degenerate, old, ungodly, unethical pimps decide what you're going to do from the time you get up in the morning to the time you go to bed, and you play this game like you free. Every 4 seconds you sit here, and every 4 seconds, 24 hours a day, a woman in America is beat up by her boyfriend or husband. That don't seem to bother you because his name's not being loud. Every 4 seconds, a woman in America, not beat up by strangers, by her boyfriend or husband, 98% of all women in America right this moment in shelters is there because they've been battered by some man. How long? And we older folks have left you youngsters a mess to clean up. A bunch of thieving thugs who manipulate everything from the Bible to religion to your curriculum in school. And then a bunch of ignorant Americans that go along with anything they put out there all at once now, the big debate. And babies cry, be listening because they might have cold. The child might be given the lottery number for this week. I thought I did hear him say, I won. And then they took him out. How long? Before we clean this mess up? We youngsters have left this burden on you. You come to an institution like this and read some old stupid books about Columbus discovered America. You know that punk got lost. But yet you tolerate it. Where was the Indians when that boy got here? I mean, if you can discover a country that's already occupied, I'm getting personal now. I can walk out on the parking lot and discover your car with you in it. Shut up and get in the back seat and teach me Thanksgiving. Huh? And yet you read that crazy, they never stop. Then when you think there's an Indian and a white dude's a friend, the Lone Ranger and the Indian say, Kimosabi, and the white man say, Tonto, in Spanish. Kimosabi means the learned one, in Spanish, Tonto means the stupid one. You know, if you get home today, when you get to your house and find out some black folks and took your house and murdered everybody in it and took everything you got, and you knock on the door and we take your key away from you and say, what you want, savage? You say, well, who are y'all? You say, we the settlers. It's in your history book. We come here and murdered them, destroyed their families, killed the women and children, and we call them the savage. And the folks that did it, the settlers, and y'all don't see anything wrong with that. Huh? And you get upset about black folks and reparation. Wait till that Indian come down that path. I mean, you just give them everything. And maybe y'all get used to it now and stop all that old. See, you black people just as silly. Like, well, how y'all gonna blame me? I wasn't here. I didn't do it. Nobody asked the smoker to pay the settlement on the cigarette claims. How come when it comes my turn, you want to get stupid? But the people who made the money and the cigarettes had to pay. And we're going to get reparations, whether you black folks like it or not, and the people going to get it for you is the same lawyers that got 40% of a $300 billion cigarette settlement going to get reparations. You black folks better start trying to get in line. Now, it's going to be a while, but you better start getting in line, because with DNA, you'd be surprised how many white folks going to be up your head of it. Oh, yeah. And Nick, they're going to get their 40 acres in the view. How long? And young folks, how long are you going to sit by and do like your mother and your dad? I'm not talking to white folks, I'm talking to black and white folks, the most racist, sexist, insane nation on the planet, and we're all in a state of denial. You can look around the whole planet and see everything else and think you're so free in such a democratic society. And you white women, whenever you wake up and realize what kind of nigger you is. A white woman today with a doctor's degree makes 78% on the dollar compared to a white boy with that same degree. You crazy? And a white woman with just an ordinary degree, just graduated from college, a white boy that dropped out of high school, make 56% more than you. And you run around thinking you so cute, Miss Ann. I'm going out there and try to get your money. On Super Bowl Sunday, more white women get killed that day than any other day of the year. So I try to tell white women, go to Jamaica on Super Bowl Sunday. Fear and God do not occupy the same space. I go out and I walk every morning about 4:30. I was in Cleveland not too long ago, and 2 homicide cops turned the corner. Dick, man, what you out here? You out here for it's dangerous out here, man. You serious? 4:30 in the morning, man. Muggers don't want to see another purse. They tired. Rapists don't want to see another pair of drawers. They trying to get, they trying to get out, And if you're scared, all you got to do is be clever. You worry about somebody stealing your car, just put a note on it. This car is used for AIDS research. And niggas that can't even read will read that. Somebody jump out, talk about raping you. I was the one, I just pulled my panties down and said, how come I haven't had nothing like this since I found out I had AIDS? Oh, please tell me it didn't go on. Oh, it went in all right, fine. They would go call the police. How long? And listen to some of these old folks be talking. A lot of y'all can just because somebody old, they got a lot of wisdom. They're the silliest ones, most of them. There's some old black folk talking the other day. I don't know what's wrong with these young ones today. When we was their age, we didn't lock no doors because you didn't have nothing. Somewhere. So take care of your body. Get up and walk. The best physical fitness is walking. Athletic ability ain't nothing but heathenism. It's ungodly, unspiritual. And I say this as a world-class athlete. I set the world's record in the high school mile. Never got credit for it because I was at the all-Negro meet. Went to Southern Illinois University, third fastest half mile on the planet. What they don't tell you is professional athletes' life expectancy is 54 years of age. Winos live longer than that. Take care of your body. The number one cause of death in America is not murder or homicide or drugs, sleep deprivation. And they never stop. Right before we left the room, coming here this evening on the news, you're here tonight, they're talking about people that get too much sleep. You get 9 hours sleep, you'll die 20 years younger. They never stop playing with y'all. The number 2 cause of death is dehydration. Both of them free. So drink your water and do your physical fitness. Get out the bed and go walk. Lay in bed just in time to get up and get ready for work. That's a violation. Get up 3 hours ahead of time and you'd be surprised. You just mellow out. You just be so cool, you won't even go to work. Do that 3 days in a row, you won't have to go to work. How long? Take care of your body. In the morning, just get up and walk. And black folks always be, I heard what you said, but I got a bad leg. Walk bad. Walk the same way you be walking when you be going getting them lottery tickets. Because you can raise your level to your conscience to anything you can conceive. You prove it every time you go to a shopping mall. 60,000 slots for cars, and all of them are full except the handicap parking, and you know they ain't coming, and you better not park there. Police station, handicap parking. This college, handicap parking. Grocery store, handicap parking. Everywhere you go got handicap parking except the liquor store. No handicap. You want this bottle of whiskey, you get out of that car. Come on in here. You need some help? No, I get my whiskey on my God, have we come a long ways. Never before in the history of this planet have any group of people made the progress that African Americans have made in a 30-year period in spite of black folks and white folks lying to one another. And you black folks want to make believe that your problems is you're not prepared, you're not educated enough. That ain't nothing but a game. The problem in this country why you don't make it is racism. I have one of the finest comic minds that's ever been in the history of the planet. 150 years from now, people will be studying my brain. I did stuff that nobody ever did. Where you hear about it? But just thank God I don't have to be validated in a white racist system. I don't need the New York Times to tell me who I am. And liberation have always meant more to me since I've been part of the movement. I haven't always been. I used to drink a fifth of scotch every day, 4 packs of cigarettes every day, top weight 365 pounds. I went the whole route. And then the movement saved me. Saved me. A country that looks at this movement like we're a bunch of hoodlums and thugs. There's never been nothing this grand. And I tell you what, 10,000 years from now, 10 million years from now, if there's anybody on this planet, the only reason America will get her name mentioned because it'll be Dr. King and this nonviolent movement, and Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X and this NAACP. Y'all play games with it if you want to, but you don't count. When I was a little boy, 4 years old in St. Louis, Missouri, couldn't read, couldn't write, didn't know where my daddy was. I was so dumb, I didn't even know that St. Louis, Missouri was in the same state with Kansas City, Missouri. But at 4 years old, I knew where Jerusalem was because of a man named Jesus. I still can't read a map, but you show me a map, I can find the Middle East because of a man named Jesus. And one day, they'll have to mention America to say where this great movement came from. And he wiped us out one after another, after another, after another. And America has never slowed up and say thanks. Police brutality is running rampant and y'all don't want to deal with it. You will one day. Because as they do it to me, they'll eventually do it to you. I don't know why y'all don't have enough smarts to watch that. What happens to me this week happens to you next week. They went up in a black college in South Carolina and shot black folks down like they was dogs, and that didn't seem to bother nobody. Jackson State shot them down like dogs, but y'all didn't see Kent right around the corner. Huh? Nobody seems to worry about police brutality. It's the #1 problem confronting black folks today. Is police brutality worse today than it was 50 years ago? No. Then what's the difference? My mindset didn't change. What I tolerated 50 years ago, I won't tolerate today. Ku Klux Klan jump out on me, say, nigger, come here. I say, your mama's a nigger. He pull a gun out on me, I take his gun and pistol whooping. I can't say that to a cop. I can't run from a cop and I can't take his gun. And that don't seem to bother you. It will. They nothing but criminals who? The mafia ain't never been beat up by the police. The Enron folks ain't never been beat up by the police. And then you black folks sit and let a white, racist, insane system tell you about family values. America don't qualify to tell me. I am the family. I never stole nobody. Never took anybody away from their mother, their father, their land, their God, their religion. System stole me, dropped my dad off in Jamaica, dropped my mom off in Mississippi, dropped the kids off in Louisiana. Now want to tell me about family values, and some of you ignorant black folks that suck enough to listen to that. I am the family. You want to talk about family values? The mafia. You can't find nobody no family oriented than them. Today, never before have anybody made the progress that African Americans made in spite of this nation. Why? Out of the goodness of America's heart, no, a handful of us, black and white, young and old, some rich, some poor, said we'll lay down our life because it's right. Thank God. Going to Mississippi, when I went down, I just knew I'd be killed. Scared to death. And I look back now and say, thank God I went anyway. Never realized when we went down there in the year 2002, Mississippi State had more black elected officials than any other state in America. It works. Huh? It works. Well, we were there. Alabama, I was there when they turned the hose on. It was happening so fast, I looked around. A little 4-year-old black child pushed past me about a fourth of that water, and before I could gather my thoughts, I see this white nun float past me, and the white priest, and an old black man, and a minister friend of mine, and the next thing you know, we were still marching. I look up and see a cop throw his hose down, and see a cop walk up and slap him and arrest him, a white boy. I was there in the march from Selma to Montgomery. Only one person got killed, a white woman from Detroit, Mrs. LaRussa. And I look at some of you little black punks that ain't never done nothing, gonna put on a dashiki and twist your hair and ball up your fist and think you know something about some movement. Last year, who would ever thought 2001 a black man playing a game is about to pass a white man's home run record, and they got to interrupt that and call the FBI because he's getting death threats. Do a radio show, Kathy Hughes station in Washington D.C., and people call and say, what do you think about that? So I didn't give that a thought. I was thinking about if this can happen in the year 2001, I was thinking about April 17, 1947, when a white man named Branch Rickey, when basketball and football wasn't America's game, it was baseball, and Branch Rickey, a white man, said, I'm going to bring you up because it's right. They might murder me, they might blow my house up and kill my family, I might not ever be able to get a job again, but I'm going to do it because it's right. Huh? 1947. And you older black folks in here know that our mindset have never been the same since then. There's something snapped in our heads. Now you hear Negroes debating, is the NAACP this, is the NAACP? Nobody debated. Nobody in the black community debated. Was that right? We knew it was. How long? So we older folks have left you youngsters a mess to clean up. So take care of your body and drink your water and get into fasting and vegetarianism. Just try it. You can try everything else. It ain't working. And don't leave here now and gonna go out there and say, I'm going to try to overdo it. I can see some of you now go home and say, I heard this guy talk about fasting. I think I'm going to go on fast. Did you check with a doctor? You checked on a doctor before you did cocaine? Just take your time, get up. Get that stress off you. Not too long ago, I got out and do my 4.5 to 5 miles every morning around 4:30, and I had a friend of mine came into Washington, D.C. I said, man, tomorrow morning I want to show you this hill, man, up in Rock Creek Park, man. It's me, man. I said, I won't be here tomorrow. I got to get a plane out early tomorrow. I said, well, let's go do it this evening. And I knew I didn't even feel like doing 10 miles that day, but I went out in that evening and did it again, and kind of a little exhausted. I'm sitting back kind of just laying on the couch, half asleep and not sleep. You ever had that feeling where you ain't nothing hurting you. You're just in that little twilight zone. And I forgot to turn the TV off. And Heard him say, bulletin, bulletin, civil rights icon admit baby out of wedlock. I read it up on called my wife, said, baby, don't talk to the press. I'll be home, I can explain it. See, all going back to sleep. They're talking about Jesse. I said, well, you do have to admit I am an icon, right? Born in 1932, went to college, Southern Illinois University in 1952, 20 years old. It's the first time I ever been around white folks. I didn't have to call Mr. or Mrs. And the first time I've been around white folks, they had to call me by my name. Couldn't call me coon or boy or hey you or buddy. The most racist, insane institution on the planet. There was probably more racist ones, but black folk couldn't get in them. And now if you go to SIU, it's one of the few schools in America. That's over 25,000 people, have 16% black enrollment. Black president, had the first black athletic director. Out the goodness of their heart, no, it's a group of us came together way back then and said, we're not going to use this school just to better our thing. We're either going to change things or close it down. Black women couldn't live at the dormitory. The only reason black men could, because they couldn't go that while and let black athletes stay and nobody else could. Black fraternities and sororities couldn't be on campus. A black woman couldn't run for homecoming queen. In 125-year history, you go over to the athletic department and all the records is held by black folk, but no black had ever won outstanding athletes award. And we shut it down. And SIU is one of the better institutions because a handful of us decided we're not just going to walk through here like they're doing us a favor. And it worked. You black folks, you better stop tolerating it. And I don't know who you black folks are praying to. When I look at your health conditions, infant mortality rate in the black community in America is higher than it is in third and fourth world countries, and that don't seem to bother you. Black folks in America, less than 12% of America's population. As we sit here now, 87% of everybody in America on kidney dialysis machines is black folks. That don't bother you. Black men, less than 4% of America's population, 83% of all prostate cancer death in America is black men. Little black teenage boys in America have more asthma deaths in 1 year than all the asthma deaths on this planet put together. Why? Because Harvard, Yale, MIT, Morehouse, they haven't realized that asthma is nothing but dehydration, and asthma attackers the brain sending a message to squeeze the water out of the lungs. 6 quick glasses of water would normally break that up. Well, why do little black teenage boys have more asthma deaths in America in 1 year? Because what do you drink? Gatorade, Kool-Aid, lemonade, soda pop. When do you drink water? You black folks, everybody, but particularly you black folks, you better understand the role of the liver, L-I-V-E-R. Take the R off, it's spelled live. It's an organ, weighs 3 pounds. It's an organ and a gland. It handles 500 different functions. When that go out, it opens you up to 1,000 different conditions. You black folk can put all your little cute outfits on. It ain't got nothing to do with what you look like on the outside. You corrupted in the inside. Why? What takes out your liver? Anger. You want to sit and harbor this white racist sister. Want to make a white racist sister think it's okay. Then the minute you get away from them, you want to call them a bunch of hunkies and a bunch of this and a bunch of that. You ain't doing nothing but messing with your liver. Depression, stress, fear, alcohol, coffee, soda pop, constipation, white sugar, all drugs. Ain't no such thing as no legal drug. All drugs in your body, the one you get through prescription, the ones on the corner, eats up the vitamin A in the body, which is the immune system, vitamin B in the body, which is the nervous system. All tobacco. Take care of your body. Water is so beautiful, you can't get a better demonstration than the power of God than just the water. 70% of this planet is water. And 98% of that, 97% of that's ocean water. Think about that. Ocean water, you can't drink it because of the salt, you can't grow nothing with it. Only 3% of the water on this planet is fresh water, and 99% of that's locked up in ice and glaciers and underneath the mountains. And where you get your water from? That God force. There's a thing that God do with the sun, that it just takes that ocean and do strange things. And at night while you sleep, it turns that water into vapor and pulls it up out the ocean, and the salt stays down and the water comes up, and then God blows it to your house and say, this is my breast milk for all living animals and plants. How long? Strongest two forces in the history of America has always been the black woman and the black church. That's why both of y'all are under attack. They burned down a black church, but they never burned down a black whole house. They burned down blow up a black church, but they never blew up a black crack house. And you black ministers, I just take my hat off to you, because 99% of that movement was ministers. They might have PhD or but it was always reverend in front of that name. At a time when we couldn't get in buildings to have rallies except the church. And then they take entertainers like Flip Wilson and give him a show deframing the two strongest forces in America, the black woman and the black church. And some of you black folks silly-dilly enough to go along with that crap. I've been a black man for 70 years, ain't never met a sister like that thing he was supposed to be, and never met a minister like Leroy. Y'all crazy? And now we moved it to another level, and that's why you youngsters got to watch it, because it's a mind game now. It's not physical no more. A black person get lynched in America tonight, we all shocked. You saw what happened in Jasper, Texas. A black man got lynched, and before they found out who he was, they had arrested those 3 white boys. And they had trials and swift justice so fast, who would ever believe that a man that's governor when that happened in less than 2 years can run for president, and that incident is never mentioned because of the way it was handled. But now they'll take some black entertainers and give them millions, and they let them do the work. It's a mind game. Snoop Doggy Dogg, that nigga named himself 2 dogs. Hitler's never been referred to as a dog. Napoleon never was referred to as a dog. Genghis Khan never called himself a dog. And it ain't no accident that after he becomes Snoop Doggy Dogg, and a lot of the lyrics in the black music start referring to the sister as a bitch. And y'all tolerate it. Some of you are stupid and sick and insane enough to dance to it. We get the male dog and then the female dog, and only in ignorant America is bitch a bad word. All over the world, people wrote the word bitch is a female dog. So if somebody in Europe say, I got to go feed this bitch, they're talking about going feeding a female dog. So we get Snoop Doggy Dogg, then you become the bitch, and then you have a little baby called Little Bow Wow. And y'all don't see the implications of that. And there ought to be just certain things in the black community we should just say to black and white folks, we're not going to tolerate it. We're not going to tolerate it. We're not going to tolerate these old nasty history books. I was somebody before I was America's slave. My life didn't start with slavery. I built the pyramids in Egypt. I understood astronomy and astrology before white folks was on the planet. Don't wipe out my history and start it back with negativity, and don't accept that. How long? Got a big job. Prince. I can't say it for sure, but I'm sure he was lying when he said he changed his name because he was mad at the record company. Them boys said there'd be no niggas named Prince. There's one prince on this planet. It's a white boy named Charles. And little black children will never grow up hearing somebody that looked like them referring to themselves as Prince. One queen is a white woman named Elizabeth. And they say the problem in the black community ain't no black man at home, and y'all buy that crap. We ain't home when we home. Lay out a nice little apple cobbler for your man. You say, how you like it, baby? I'm eating it, ain't I? Queen Elizabeth, one of the richest women in the world, she make $360 some odd million every 24 hours, just interest on her money. I like them kind of white folks. Them these white folks, they do not lie. They tell you, I'm going to war to protect my interests. All that money she got, been living in the mansion. She got a palace over there, second to none. They can't even put a price on it. When she leaves there, she goes to the summer palace. Been married to a dude named Philip. All of them live in the house with their family. You can't find no more messed up, dysfunctional children than the ones she got. So how come when it come my turn, my problem is ain't no black man at home? Hitler had a mother and father at home. Jack the Ripper had a mother and father at home. And the mafioso, you can't find no tighter family. What's that game about? The rules always change when it come to me. And then you black folks sucker into that. Niggas running around ashamed of welfare. You crazy? What the hell? What's wrong with free money? I don't want no free money on your way to play the lottery. I get free money every day. It's called corporation. D.Gregory Health Enterprises. I can take a whore all the way around the world with me today as long as I got enough sense to call that whore my secretary. It's a tax write-off. And 98% of people ride first class on airplanes wouldn't be there if they couldn't write that ticket off. And all first class, the whiskey is free. In America alone, last year they gave away $800 million worth of free whiskey, which the airlines write that off on their taxes, which you pay for. But a welfare mother trying to get apple juice for the baby, you want some apple food. And you call yourself some kind of Christian. Y'all just left New Orleans the other day, went there, Christians was there, Mardi Gras. Only city in America known as Sin City, and the Christians go every year, not to change it, but to be part of it. And Fat Tuesday the other day, Fat Tuesday, them Christians in New Orleans eat anything moving. And then on this past Wednesday, they hit their head with an ash, and now they're out here faking a prayer for 40 days. That's why I don't go to church with you Christians on Easter Sunday. I'm tired of you. Were you there when they crucified the Lord? What a cheap song to sing 2,000 years later. You wasn't there then, and chances are most of you wouldn't show up now. Well, how do you know that? Capital punishment. Capital punishment. I don't want to get no debate with you about no damn capital punishment. I just don't understand how in a Christian praying society you can cry with the crucifixion of Christ, but don't get rid of capital punishment. Or do you too dumb to know that Christ was murdered by the state? Christ wasn't mugged to death or run down by some drunken chariot driver. Christ was killed by the state, which means if Jesus Christ come back to America today and bug the wrong people, they will give Jesus the electric chair. Then all us Christians be walking around with big chairs around our necks. Were you there? When there? How do you make the sign of the chair? And now here you American Christians, we want the right to pray in public school. Hope you never get that right. Congress, thank God the Senate had enough sense to kill it. Congress, 18 months ago, passed legislation and all this violence in public schools. We're going to put the 10 Commandments up in public school. Come on, if you put 10 Commandments in a whole house, you think pimps would stop pimping? If you gave the Marines the 10th Commandments, the Secretary thou shalt not kill, you think they'd throw their guns down? I went to public grade school, public high school, public college, 70 years. Is my age. They didn't have a law to say you couldn't pray in public school. You know what? We never prayed. Then once they get a law say you can't pray, y'all wants to pray. If you had we just praying for, they had a law, might not be no law now. Did you go to public school? High school? I went to Sumner High School in St. Louis. We was the Sumner High School Bulldogs. What's your high school? And you have a mascot? What was it? Indians. You could name it after anything you want, except you couldn't be the Sumner High School Green Jesus or Red Jesus. You can be the Sumner High School Red Devils, and Christians don't seem bothered by that. You can name a school after the devil. You couldn't name it after Jesus. What kind of fool is you? And then go to the game on the weekend and pull for the Devils. Go you Devils. Go, hey Christian, who you for? The Devils. Duke University, one of the leading universities, the Duke University Blue Devils. Wake Forest, right down the road from Duke, it's a church school. They the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. I've been around demons, been around deacons, but I've never been around both of them together. And then think about what you think about when you hear the word God. Think about what comes over when you hear the word Father, and that handful of corrupt, degenerate pimps took the word Godfather in a Christian society and labeled the mafia Godfather, and y'all didn't open up your mind. Hello. Take care of your body, and we got a long ways to go. Start learning to love your body. And that's what this movement taught me. I've been to church and I'd hear him talk about love, and I didn't realize love. Are you serious? Love you, baby. If I can't have you, ain't nobody gonna have. That's love. Yeah, today, we be dealing today, Valentine's Day, chocolates and whiskey. And a whooping before the night's over. So young folks, you got a job. You keep getting picked on. I love you. You say, well, public schools, we need to change them. Public schools is the greatest thing ever happened in the history of this planet. I can't speak for here because I don't have the research. Chicago public schools have paid $3,300 per child per year. Times 600,000. 5 miles outside of Chicago, the suburbs is $14,000, $500 per child per year. Y'all crazy? The hell you gonna let somebody trick you and have you believing that your ship is supposed to run like my Rolls Royce? You get what you pay for. You get every bang for your buck. I've got $3,500. Go to the suburbs and give them $3,500 per child and bring that $14,000 into the inner cities, and we'll have little 4-year-old children going to the moon. It's a game they play. We yell black power. Boy, everybody, even black folk, no, Mr. White folk, we didn't mean black power, they mean green power. No, the Jews had green power in the concentration camp. And who would have ever believed when Stokely and Rapp yelled black power, 2 weeks ago you'd pick up Newsweek magazine and on the cover, the new black power. And I think about what them two brothers went through in Mexico at the Olympics when they balled up their fists, and all at once now they said the new black power. 3 black men head 3 of the top, most powerful Fortune 500 companies. Merrill Lynch, Time Warner, American Express. And that didn't come out the goodness of America's heart. Them niggas didn't just get smart enough to do that. We always been smart enough to do that. It's this movement that opened up that door. And these brothers that run it, they haven't been around here deframing black folk talking about family values and we need to pull ourselves up out of the bootstrap. Them type of thug pimps is saying what a lot of white folks want to hear, but they'll never be rewarded. Their picture will never be on a stamp like Malcolm. And the people that put Malcolm X's picture on a stamp, but there was no black folks in the room, that was all white folks. Now maybe they had ulterior motives. Maybe they said we finally found a way to lick Malcolm. And so I say to you today, particularly you young folks, we've left you a mess to clean up. We don't do nothing but play punk games. Oh, Bin Laden, we need to murder him, we need to kill him. If America found out that Bin Laden owned 98% of the cigarette stock and 99% of the whiskey stock, I wonder how many would stop smoking and drinking. It's easy to jump on an Arab than to put yourself through some serious changes. Freedom of the press, freedom of speech where? Henry Kissinger was arrested. Well, they served him his papers in Paris, France, 18 months ago for murder. Not one American newspaper ran that story. The Hague Court, when they started indicting all them thug generals in South America, they produced a document and said, we was doing this for Henry. He's sitting over there in the Ritz-Carlton, and they came in and served him, said, you will show up in court at 9 o'clock, and he ducked out. And the French government said, yeah, but you cannot come back here ever again. We can go find some homeless welfare mothers, take them to Paris tonight, but oh, Henry Kissinger can't go. Not one American newspaper. Then 16 months later, the only paper that ran the story was the Village Voice. Huh? And you think you got a free press? You willing to go all over the world and kill under some false, perverted patriotism? Today is St. Valentine's Day. I think about all them firefighters and cops in New York that died that day that won't be home with their family. And then we playing some kind of old game with them. You love the firemen. You love firemen for what they did. How come almost 90% of the firefighters in America are volunteer firemen? If you love what they did, how come you don't pay firemen all over America? I've never been to a volunteer whole house for free. Or there ain't no place you can get whiskey on a volunteer basis. All you pay for everything for firefighters. You run around talking about how much you love and pay them. And nobody want to talk about it. Take that old pimp mayor up there and make him a hero. He ain't no damn hero. The hero that day was not just firemen. It was these group of firefighters rushed into a building where everybody in it was rushing out, and they went in anyway. Huh? Don't nobody want to slow down and talk about that. Hear me. Something happened in here, and we rushed the door, and we all running out, and here's a group of people running past us. And died. And your answer to that is $1 billion of your tax money spent every day dropping bombs on a country that don't even own electric toaster. What kind of God are you praying to? Killing civilians over there. Bin Laden is not from Afghanistan. He's from Saudi Arabia. Them thugs over there, we ain't about to touch them. Somebody kill a cop outside and run in here, and they run in here and wipe out everybody in this room, except the one that did it. They miss him, and then they're going to justify it like you have. Well, if there's any God at all that say what go around, come around, you get ready here. Them Germans, all Germans wasn't Nazis, all Germans didn't hate you, but they stood idly by and watched them thugs do their thing like you doing today, and they didn't know there'd be a hell of a price to be paid. Huh? Bin Laden has always been a CIA agent ever since he's been in college. Bin Laden's daddy put Bush and his boys in all business. Am I saying this is Bush's thing? What you see now was planted 20 years ago. Bush ain't got nothing to do with it. And he won't finish his term out. It's a game they play. A handful of them degenerate pimp thugs that you ain't gonna mess with because you know they will kill you. You know damn good and well that Enron guy that was on his way to Texas, you know he was murdered. Call it suicide. Multiple gunshot wounds he had. How long? I do not believe we've gone beyond the point of no return. I do not believe you have to just sit there and let a bunch of thugs manipulate you from time you go up in the morning and time you go to bed at night. You know damn good well we can catch Bin Laden if we want him. We got rockets and missiles and computers and stuff that we can blast off going to outer space on a 12-year voyage, and we got to be at a certain place at 3:02 a.m. in 10,000ths of a second and make it, but we can't find that punk. Then y'all stupid enough to believe he's still over there? He's probably in New York that day. All he got to do is take that old sheet off and take that laundry off his head and put on a business suit. He looked like any other white business executive. When y'all go home tonight, look at your toothpaste. What these heathens are doing, ain't a damn thing you're going to do about it. And read the small print down here, they disclaimer, do not swallow. That's on your toothpaste. They don't put this on whiskey. And in case you do swallow it, the last sentence say, contact the Poison Control Center, because an ordinary doctor do not have the educational background to save you. And you give this to your children. And if welfare mothers put this out, they'd be on their way to lecture chair today. But as long as these super degenerate pimps do whatever they want to do, it's okay. How long? 1963, it's cost me millions of dollars to name this book nigger. Why did I name it nigger? Because I'm going to take this old nigger snake and defang it. And I was the hottest thing going. People were scared to put it in the store. Black folks would even go and say, I'd like one of them D.Gregory whatchamacallits. I was almost happy last month and found out a black Harvard professor named the book nigger until I heard him being interviewed. He got bold enough to name it nigger, but when they asked him a question, he wanted to refer to it as the N-word. If you bold enough to name it nigger, the hell is the N-word? And I hope my Jewish brothers and sisters never get crazy and insane enough where you start feeling so humiliated by what them Nazis did to you that you want to change the word SWAT sticker to the S word and concentration camp to the C word. The word is nigger, 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 nigger. I say it 100 times every morning when I wake up, make my teeth white. None of you black folk come in. Why you use the word nigger? If it bothers you, then you a nigger. I didn't call your name. If I say all you hoes in here stand up, if that bothers you, you got some hoe tendencies. If I say all you billionaires in here, that don't bother. How can you be so sure you'll never be a billionaire but got doubts of being a nigger? How long? So I leave you today and I say to you, we have left you youngsters a mess. And would I like to join y'all? Oh, I never cared about age. The old age ain't never scared me. I've been wanting to be 100 ever since I was a little boy. But I'd love to be 13 or 14 now. Oh, it's exciting. School is so exciting. That white woman out there in Portland got knocked up by her same student twice.